Are you looking for fast and easy advertising techniques? That's this week on Think Tank Tuesday. Hi, I'm Paul Potratz, and welcome to this week's Think Tank Tuesday. Today, we've got a question from Drew. Drew asked the question, with starting a new business and trying to get my name out in the world, what are some of the fastest and easiest ways for you to gain speed? Drew, great question, because I've been there, done that. The only problem was, when I started, we didn't have all of the great technologies that we have available today. But before I get into the techniques, let me give you a word of advice. The first word of advice, if you're a salesperson or you're a business owner, you've got to decide what's unique. In other words, what's unique about you is that as an individual, as a salesperson. What's unique about you as a business owner? In other words, to your customers, your clients, what is different? What is it that you offer that's different than anybody else? And I want you to get away from price. I don't want you to talk about how you sell cheaper or you're lower price. That's not a good quality to be talking about. So now that you have the unique selling proposition, let's talk about establishing yourself as an authority. So the first step I want you to do is I want you to write a white paper or a case study, whatever you want to call it. In other words, I want you to write a paper about the service that you have, about the products, the services, whatever it is. But I want you to write it in a way that it's a resource. So let's call it, instead of a case study or a white paper, let's call it a resource paper. I want you to write a resource paper that when the end user reads it, that it's a resource, that it's helpful to them, that it helps them make the buying decision. By doing this, you're establishing yourself as the authority. So let me give you a case in point, because I talk about this at a lot of conferences and it seems like people get confused. So let's assume for a moment that your company is about pools, that you build pools, that you install pools. Well, then why not write a paper talking about the pros and cons of an in-ground swimming pool versus an above-ground swimming pool? Maybe not a great example, but you get my point. Maybe you write the pros and cons of a saltwater pool versus a freshwater pool. So start developing content like that. It's much better than doing content about price, because now you're being a resource. Now the goal is to get that resource paper on your website. Have it on there and let them read the first paragraph and then say, read more. And when they go to read more, capture that email address. Because if your content, your resource paper's value, that individual is going to give you their contact information, allowing you to build your email database. I also want you to take that resource paper and I want you to put it on Facebook. Facebook has the option where you can let somebody read some of the content and then they have to give you an email address to be able to read more of the content. So there's your resource paper. But keep in mind, there's some people that love to read and other people like you that probably prefer to watch a video. So take that same information, that same content, and produce a video, just like I'm doing right now. So develop that or create that video, and you don't have to get into all the fancy lighting and studios and cameras and all that. You can shoot it on your iPhone. It's simple. Go to one of the hardware stores, get a couple of the little metal reflector lights that are like $7 a piece, and get some daylight balanced bulbs. Get 3 of them. Put the bulbs in, set the lights up, set up your iPhone on a tripod, and shoot a video, and use a program like Filmic Pro to create that video. You can create that video right there on your iPad, right there on your iPhone, and get that video out. Put it on YouTube, give it the proper names, the proper tagging, proper title, and all that, so you're going to create traffic on YouTube, and then that video, go ahead and automatically upload it to Facebook. And now you've got some content that you're creating awareness, you're driving them to your website, and why not invest a little money in retargeting? It was 2006 that we were doing retargeting, and people were like, wow, who are these people? They're coming out of the woodwork. That was us with retargeting. So anyway, there's some ideas, but the best way to create awareness, fastest and easiest, well, there's a problem though. It's not real fast, and I think it's easy, but a lot of people don't think it's easy. But guess what? We've been doing Think Tank Tuesday now for 5 years, and we have over 190,000 subscribers. So think about that. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, but now you establish yourself as an authority. You'll become trusted. You'll build your database. People will talk about you, and you'll be famous. Well, maybe not famous, but you get the point. I hope that helps you. And if you have an idea, or if you want us to talk about something, then go to our Facebook page, Tell us to talk about whatever that you want to know more about. We'll talk about it if we know about it, and we'll send you a cool little coffee mug, which actually has the Potratz marketing strategy, which this one's one marketing strategy that almost talks about what I just talked about. Hope that helps, and see you next week.